Everything's and every beings change with time, but I develop with time. Strict teachers are appreciated after the result, so is my time. Hello everyone, welcome to my class. You all might be wondering that why I'm using the term strict teachers. The thing is that in today's lesson we are going to learn from English Alive book, okay, Literature Reader 7 about the new teacher, written by Arthur Kavanagh. Okay, so basically the story introduces us to a teacher who gives the impression of being a hard taskmaster as well as a disciplinarian, but the teacher is quite strict, okay, and what we observe is the other side. The children, they don't prefer the strict teachers, as you also do the same thing, but technically she believes in nurturing children with love. Okay, so she was criticized by the children, and the story is simply about that. So let us head on to the main story. Before we start, let us learn about some characters, okay, of the story. First, the major character is Roger Clark. He is a narrator of the story, and he is a third graded attending St. Geoff Elementary School. He is a student of a third grade in St. Geoff, and he's bad at spelling. Why bad at spelling? That also we'll try to find out later. And his nature was tender and soft, which worried about people. Throughout the story you will observe the nature of Roger, and he always has his bags, school bag full of games, okay, like you people also do the same thing, right? Now the next character here is Miss Orville, that is, or Miss Awful. Miss Awful was the name given by the children. Why it is so? Because that also we'll try to find out. And she was a Roger's substitute teacher, okay. She came in place of Miss Wilson, okay, and she is a woman with grey hair and witch eyes, so her voice is stern, a bit shrill and raspish, and she is a lonely and independent woman that has a lot of pride. Okay, she is a lonely woman and she is independent, and throughout the throughout the lesson text, you will observe that she is quite a lot of pride, and she loves plant. She thinks that plant and children should be raised in the same way. Both will grow with proper care. So as her main philosophy of her life is the plant and the children, they both need a good care, a proper nurturing, okay, and so that both will grow with a proper care. Okay, so they are the main character. Okay, so others, there are some minor characters like Roger Clark, dad, okay, his father and mother, and throughout the story what we'll observe is we will see Mrs. Revis, and they are some minor characters, okay. So but the major character over here is the Roger Clark and Miss Orville. Now let us see the story settings. The story setting, the overall story, if you go through it, then you'll observe in a peaceful town at the Clark family houses, dinner table, they are discussing Roger's teacher's absent and his request to go to the park with Mr. Clark. Then the setting shifted to the St. Geoff school, okay, where Roger saw his new substitute teacher, Miss Orville. The setting keeps changing from his house to the school throughout the story. So the setting is simply in the house and the school, okay. So all the things, the plot, the main plot is simply on the school and the his own house. Okay, so the story begins with the clerk family at the dinner table, which Roger announced the Mrs. Wilson's leave. So in the beginning of the story, what you will observe here is that all the family members, they are sitting, okay, and his father, Rosa Clark was explaining that why he couldn't go to Central Park with his father, okay, and from this we come to know about Rosa Clark that he was not at all interested in doing his homework also, okay, and he was talking about Miss Wilson, okay, so he has to take care of a crisis, that is emergency, okay. She took the leave for a week, and Rosa was quite worried, okay, and he was quite worried, as you can see in page number 9, third paragraph. Till Miss Wilson's get back, we will have another teacher. Miss Wilson's flew to Omaha yesterday. I hope her plane doesn't crash, he said worriedly. As noisy and exuberant as any 80-year-old, Rosa had another side, tender and soft. So from this line, what we observe is that Rosa was very much concerned about his teacher, Miss Wilson, okay, as she flew to Omaha, and she won't be there for a week. So he just said that I hope her plane doesn't crash, okay, maybe I am so worried that she will return safely. As noisy and exuberant as any 80 years old. So he is an energetic as 80 years old. So Rosa had another side, that is tender and soft. So with this, from this verse also we come to know that he was so much worried about Miss Wilson. Now here also is this second, that is the last para from page number 9. Rosa beamed with relief. Well, I like Miss Wilson. Last week when Tommy Miller got tired of staying in his seat and lay down on the floor, Miss Wilson didn't mind. Pretty soon the whole class was lying down, including Miss Wilson. Send off is fun. Now the reason why Roger liked Miss Wilson was simply with this line only we come to know. Okay, so the line itself says that, well, I like Miss Wilson. Why? Because the last week when Tommy Miller, he is talking about another friend, Tommy Miller got tired of staying in his seat, okay, and lay down on the floor. So he simply lay down on the floor, and Miss Wilson, she didn't mind, she didn't say anything, okay. He lay down on the floor, and Miss Wilson was, quite liberal. She isn't saying anything to us. So pretty soon the whole class was lying down, okay, and not only that Tommy Miller, but also the whole class was lying down, and including Miss Wilson also, she did the same. So the St. George School is really a fun. So this was the main reason that why Rosa Clark liked Miss Wilson, right? Because she was very much friendly with the students, okay. She was not that type of teacher, bit liberal. And this one is the home assignment. Question number 1, why was Rosa Clark worried? Okay, please note down this, why was Rosa Clark worried? Okay, so now Rosa's attitude towards studies. This one is STUDIES, okay, not EA. Rosa's attitude towards studies. So how he was in studies, let us find out. So here the school was permissive yet quite homey. Now homey here means a homely atmosphere, okay. So it was lenient, okay, easygoing. The school was permissive. Permissive means here and easygoing, yet quite homey. It was quite a homely atmosphere that the children used to experience. Now, however, Rosa's scholastic progress wasn't notable. His spelling, for example, remained atrocious. Atrocious here means terrible. It was horrible. His spellings, okay. So friendly as St. Geoffrey's was, Mrs. Clark sometimes did wish. So with this line only we come to know that Rosa was not good in studies, alright, because of the school atmosphere and because of the teacher. So his spelling was very much horrible, okay. And again, if we go through the text, see, Monday morning school started off normally. Entering school, Roger skipped away eagerly to play before the 8:45 school bell. As usual, he had packed a supply of baseball cards for trading opportunities. Trading here means, when you sell something, okay, exchange or sell, okay. So baseball cards, like you people also come with Pokemon cards and all, right? So with the same, see the nature in the sense, see the preparation and see how the school atmosphere is actually. A spool of string, in case anybody brought a kite, strings, a spool of strings, a water pistol for possible use in the laboratory, and a police whistle for sheer noise values. Now see, these are the things that he used to carry. And as the bell rang, Roger's class swarmed up the stairs in rollicking spirits. Rollicking here means, happy, noisy. When there is no anyone to monitor, when there is no anyone to supervise, when you people are going in the line, instead of going in the line, you people also prefer the same thing, isn't it? So these all suggest that Roger was not so much passionate towards his studies, okay. Rather his school was quite homely atmosphere was there inside the school. So here is question number 2. How's Roger's attitude towards study? You have to explain, okay, in your own words. If you can better give in your own words. Note down this question. Now that was the scenario of the school, where the school was quite a fun place for the children. But there has been a climax, okay, the entry of new teacher. Now let us check that what kind of teacher they have to they have to experience now, okay. Now Miss Orville puts strict rules on the students, marches them like they are on an army, and complains about students. But in contrast, Miss Orville puts strict rules on the students. Now there has been an entry of a new teacher, and she puts strict rules on the students. Okay, so what are the things she did was marches them like on a line in an army, okay, and complains about students to their parents. So all these things we see throughout the text. Now for example, if you go and to page number 11, second paragraph, form lines patrolling back and forth. The new teacher needed the grade into position, okay. So now see here, form lines. So as she observed that the line, the students, they were rollicking, they were in the happy state, pushing each other. Now she suddenly speak in a loud voice to form a lines, patrolling back and forth, okay. Sloppiest I have ever seen. Sloppiest here means most disorganized. Okay, disorganized. The line was not organized. Sloppiest I have ever seen. March. She clapped time with her hands, and the stunned rank trooped into the classroom. Okay, so they walked together, okay, in a line. So this also suggests that she was a very strict and a very disciplinarian attitude, teacher. Next example, in the same page number 11, class be seated, hands folded on decks. The new teacher barked and the class obeyed. She carefully installed the potted plants on the sill. Plants and children belong in classroom both grow with proper care, not by giving it to whims. Whims here means one's wish. Okay, so she has this different philosophy that a plant and a children, they are same, and they both need a proper care. Okay, so that was his principle, and so she usually used to come with the plants. Okay, so this line also suggested that she was quite strict in her work, right, and she was quite passionate in her teaching. But the fact is whether the students liked her or not, we have to find out. Okay, now another example of this one being a strict teacher. You call this chicken scrawl penmanship. Penmanship here means handwriting. Okay, rip, a page was torn out and a thrust at its owner. Redo it at once, it assaults one's intelligence. Okay, it is shame. Okay, you call this chicken scrawl, you write like a chicken, scrawl, penmanship and handwriting. Redo it once, do it once again, and then moving on. What is this maze of ill-spelled word? She was just supervising the student, and she felt that the handwriting of the students were not up to the mark. Even they have misspelled the words. Okay, and this also proves that she was quite strict, and she believes in perfection, nurturing a child. And this is the question. So how do we come to know that Miss Orville was a strict teacher? Now this is the fourth question. This is question number 4. Compare Miss Wilson and Miss Orville. So do the comparison, okay, of Miss Orville also. So that was for today. Okay, so in next class we will see some more incident, all right, some more actions that took place in St. John's School. Okay, so how Rosa Clark and others will survive. Okay, how they are going to get rid of this strict teacher, and what they did, and what was the consequences. So all these things we are going to learn in the next part of the video. Okay, that will be my final part. So till then, you do this all the assignments and submit on the WhatsApp group. Okay, till then, stay safe. Thank you very much.